Okay, I haven't done one of these in a while. So basically, it's springtime again. I went out fishing with my favorite rod and realized that I hadn't cleaned it in the fall. And as it was going through the guides, there was all this sort of crunchy noises. So it's time to clean up things in the spring. Sometimes, you fish until late fall and then you put stuff away and then that's it. You don't even think about it anymore. So there's lots of different ways of cleaning. I've shown in past videos how to use the special cleaning fluids. For years and years, I used a pretty simple technique, and I've talked to fly line guys, and they say all of the special enzymes are actually in the fly line itself. So all you really have to do is clean it. They just suggest, like soapy water or not even soapy water, just running your line through stuff. What I do, it's a pretty simple method. First I start with a little, you can use Windex or, pretty much any kind of cleaner. And turn this over like that. And I just basically run the cleaner, through some paper towels. And it's really just the first, 50 feet really that are dirty. And I run it through like this. Not super technical here. Okay, I'm getting through the floating part of the line. If you don't know, there's a thick part of the line, and then the line then thins out to what's called a running line. In my case, see it changes colors from, I think it's called salmon. Let's take a look and see what we've got so far. Look at the grime on that. See, that's what we're taking off. This rod I fish mostly in the Huron River, so it gets a lot of algae and stuff growing on it. Okay, so now that I've run it through with a little bit of cleaner, and it looks like I've got it pretty much done. Let's try a little farther in just to check. And that looks pretty clean at that point. Then you can take like a microfiber cloth. If you want to get fancy, another paper towel will perfectly work. And I'm going to just basically go back over it so it dries it and gets and if there's any soapy residue on it, let's see if I'm seeing anything here. Not really much of anything. Let's run it through this way. This is good if you don't it's good if you have a cat to put them away somewhere. This is exactly cat bait right here. And starting to get a little tangled, but in general it'll clean out. Now if you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bit of residue still on this thing. But I think we're going to be in good shape. So that's the first step, as we do that. Oh, down to the leader, yay! Okay, so that's done. See, that was a lot of hard work. So I'll put this back on the reel now. Okay, if I didn't have it tangled around my foot, it'd be much easier. And we're just going to reel this up. Here we go. This is pretty exciting video stuff to watch. I'm going to start posting more soon, but we'll get this back on the line. Here's another little tip. Try to, as you're putting your line back on your reel, use your little finger to kind of guide it back and forth across, and it'll come off your reel much easier that way. Okay, and I'm back down to the leader. So much, so far so good. Now the next step is the rest of the rod. And I'm going to take my same towel, paper towel. I'm going to spray a little. Again, this could be Windex, it could be cleaner, doesn't matter. And I'm just going to kind of go over my rods and usually you get a lot of gunk. Okay, let me see if I can show you. It's not going to, come on, focus right there. No, it's not going to. Here, let me see if I can do this. Okay. Right in here is where a lot of the crud builds up. So you want to clean your rod and clean that gunk off. And the gunk will act almost like, felt or sandpaper, and will you'll hear the noise as you're casting. It'll be like kind of a noise instead of a nice noise as it's going through. So clean that off real nice. Got some more of the wet stuff here. Clean that off. Clean your eyes out real well. And again, pay special attention to those little spots right above. Also, a good place to make sure it's clean is where your ferrules, where the rods go into each other, because if there's any grit there, it's going to sort of wear down your ferrules too. This rod I do take apart a lot and put back together, so I'm a little bit careful about that part. This, by the way, is an Orvis Recon 5-weight. I started with a Orvis 5-weight Rocky Mountain 30 years ago, maybe, or Silver Label or something. And then I broke that, and I got the next one, and then I broke that, and then they gave me a Trident. That got broken a couple times. I'm not going to explain how that happened. And then finally I broke it again, and I went to get it repaired. And they sent me this Recon before it was even out for sale. And I've noticed, looking at the ones that they actually put on sale, this one has a little bit different markings and stuff, so I think this might have been some kind of prototype. There it is. It's all cleaned up. If you want to give it a final sort of polish with the microfiber cloth, you can do that. And again, I like to pay special attention to where they slip in and out of the ferrules. Also take a look inside, see if there's anything like a spider living in there or something. And do this. There, in a matter of, when did I start? 7 minutes ago, I had a dirty rod and reel, and now I have a clean one. If you want to get really kind of crazy, let's get kind of crazy. You can take your reel apart, usually like this. You want to check to see if this has got any oil on it. It looks pretty well cleaned off. Again, I fish most every day. And where's my... Wait 1 second. Again, I use some pretty high-tech stuff. This is an old can of 3-in-1 oil I've been using for about 300 years. And just put a drop of it, just a drop, on this spindle here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Oop. Oh, that was more than a drop. Clean that up. This is where your drag is, so you don't want any oil in there, but you do want it on here because this is where it's spinning. Okay, now that I've cleaned it off, I'm gonna put another just drop on there. This looks okay. It's not particularly dirty, so I'm just gonna stick my reel back on there. There we go. And there you go. I am ready for another season of fly fishing, all in 10 minutes. So go and do this right now. I'm not kidding. I may just stay here until you get it done. We'll see you. Bye.